Hi, this is William from New Zealand again. Just another project I've been working on is a solar fence. Um, if you've got a good north-facing fence and you're short of space to get some solar panels up on the roof, a solar fence could be a good idea for you. I put up one of these some months ago when it got to winter, and I think in winter your sun's much lower and your fence, obviously your sun angle on the fence is pretty good because the sun being low and the fence being vertical, it worked pretty well. There are obviously disadvantages to it. It's hard to keep it in view of the sun, but there are some good advantages to it. The panels stay clean, you wouldn't get any frost or snow build-up, and yeah, even birds don't crap on them, so they work well in that way. What I did with mine is I linked them, and I put 9 panels on, and I linked them in 3 sets of 3. And I think that's pretty important of how you actually configure them, because being on a fence, you've got more obstacles that can create shadows. But overall, it's easy to put up because your installation cost is near nothing. Well, I mean, any DIY can put a few rails on the fence, and if you keep them as a low voltage, you could always have them tiltable if you needed to tilt them. I put mine up on the fence, and basically just having them out of the way, and with some panels I had spare there, I got a whole lot of charge in the day. Probably not as effective in summer if the panels were on the roof, but there again, a lot of roofs haven't got the ideal sides and angles to get them on. But it was just, have a look at it. It's just interesting. It's another idea. And I think if you've got a big north-facing fence and you put a tilt on them, then there's probably, it's a good space saver to do that. Yep, William from New Zealand. We'll chat again. Bye.